Now, toxic habits can be smoking, but that's not the only one. Drinking alcohol, the other one, well, yeah. But you know, like we always just limit. When you look at the main dictionary, when people talk about cancer, it's always like smoking and sunlight and nothing. Well, there is 100 more. And I think it's relevant to become conscious of them. You know, you can't avoid toxins in this world anymore, but you can become as much conscious, like I said, unconsciously killing yourself, consciously avoiding toxins, so you can change drastically as soon as you look at certain areas of life. Toxic food is number one. Now, if you look at the amount of pesticides, fungicides, herbicides that are used in our environment and in our sprays, it's shocking. And it's accumulative because it all goes down into the ground, it sinks into the ground, they're sprayed many times, and then the crop grows into that ground. It's soaked up everywhere. You know, like a lot of people say, I just wash it off. Rubbish! It's in the ground, it's everywhere, it's absorbed into. Put some cream on here. Where does it go? It's instantly absorbed into your bloodstream, into your system. Now, do you think plants do it differently? They absorb through the leaves, through everything, all the moisture, all the fluids that go on there, and then they store those toxins in the same way as we do. So anything that you eat which is not organic, certified organic, or from a farmer that you know is burdening your system dramatically. And let's just look at one simple thing. What are those pesticides designed to do? Kill off bugs. Who do you think digests your food? Bugs in your gut. It's actually your digestive system is laden with about 2 kilos or 2.5 kilos of bacteria that break down everything and digest everything, and they produce all the minerals and nutrients and vitamins and everything. So if that's killed off, well, that's number one. And then you don't have that digestion anymore. You don't absorb the nutrients. It's a chain reaction. It's not only the toxins, it's actually also the results, what they do, that makes it so detrimental. And if you look at the amount of toxins used in fertilizers, in plastics, in everything, it's kind of frustrating to see. Now, toxins are broken down in different forms. There is carcinogens, which induce cancer and increase the incidence immediately in the tissue. So you can have carcinogens and then they cause the cell mutation, they cause the cell destruction, and then they can cause cancer or just cell death or just the pollution of the cell. So there is many things, but carcinogens are directly linked and listed as a cancer-causing factor. Then you have mutagens. They will not have an effect immediately, but they are stored in your cells, and especially ovaries, females, they are then passed on to the next generation. You have mutagenic, or you have nutrigenomic DNA impairments that you pass on to your children based on those toxins. And plastics are very, very bad. And then you have teratogens. They also go into hereditary congenital malformation, which means they are usually out of a combination of fertilizers and sprays and mixed toxins, which then cause devastation in birth defects and in problems that affect the DNA. And many of those children that have that problem not even survive. There is only few, and then we look at them as some kind of a miracle. But it's all based on those combination of different toxins. So avoid them by all means. If you look at the consequence with plastics, it's something that surrounds us everywhere. And plastics are one of the main pollutants, PHAs, BPAs, BPS, BPI. They're all are so fine in structure that they attach or leach on to the DNA. And as soon as they are attached to the DNA, they cause those impairments in the fetus, in the child. Now, if you have already, all your children, you're 50 down, it's only concerning you. But it will have an effect on the offspring. So if you have from early age on, as a child, already lots of plastic environment, you've already inherited a lot of DNA mutations, you will pass them on. This is really significant. And BPA, for example, is all around. They've changed now lots of formulations because BPA became that curse word. You know, like nobody wanted to buy plastic, so they just transformed it into BPS. Now everybody is happy to buy because it says BPA free and it contains BPS, which is equally toxic. And it takes a while until that comes through and people recognize it and wake up. Get glass jars. Stop using plastic. You know, the lining of the tin can is with BPA. When you have a house and you set that beautifully up with a plastic water tank, preferably standing in the sun, so it leaches all the toxins out from the plastic into the water. And then you have your water pipes, and then you have your hot water running through the pipe, and then it comes in. It's already so polluted that you wouldn't believe how bad that is. You know, the World Health Organization has given out the suggestion that third world countries have to take water bottles and put the water in, out of the river, full with bugs and germs, put it for 4 to 5 days onto the roof, into the sunshine, so that the plastic toxins can sterilize the water. And that's actually what happens. All the bugs get killed off and you can drink the water afterwards. It's sterile. It's just full with BPA. And the biggest cause of infertility is caused by that, which is like a very humane means of stop the overpopulation. But if you want to have children, if you want to have healthy children, well, then that's no. You have to stay away from plastics, and especially grow your children up without plastics and have them detoxify and get rid of the plastic pollution, because otherwise the cycle keeps going and gets worse with every generation that is confronted. You know, we drink water, we drink everything out of plastic bottles. And just to show you very shortly how dangerous it is, there is the research study of the agouti mice. And the agouti mice was identical twins. Both of them were dark brown, dark little field mice, and they were put into a cage, and all that was different in their upbringing and in their feed was BPA-laden food, plastic-contaminated food, to natural food. No other difference. Same environment, same everything, just purely the food was contaminated with plastic. Now, that's the 4th generation. Obese, color change, triple the size, and the 5th generation you see up on the right-hand corner, which is completely, you know, half lifespan, tumor growth, extremely sick, and almost infertile. So with mice, 5 generations, and we are now in the 3rd generation with plastics. We are moving very fast into that direction, so it's significant. Don't give plastic toys to your children. Avoid, especially with children. You know, like if a grandma with 50, with 80 or 70, you know, keeps her plastics, that's okay. But get the young generations away from it. Plus, it pollutes our planet in a drastic way. Bag It, a beautiful movie. I'd suggest everybody to watch it. Bag It, plastic bags, how they kill our whole environment. So get your cotton bag when you go shopping, go to local farmers markets, really change your lifestyle. This is what I said. When you start to truly heal, you don't only truly heal your body and your life, but also your environment, everything that surrounds you, because you start to become conscious of what we do to this planet and to this world. And do a bit of research on BPA and infertility. You'll be amazed to see what happens. And the big problem is that we all think, you know, like when children are born, they come from heaven and they are totally pure. Well, they come through the mother. They're born out of the mother, which means they inherit already the DNA damage, the mutagens and teratogens that mother has accumulated, plus then all the toxins that the mother absorbs from the moment of birth to when she has babies, all the the powders, all the asbestos fiber-like powders, Johnson's Baby, and there is just a lawsuit coming out now against them with 500 women suing them for ovarian cancer. And that was already found out 1973, and they're still using this stuff. So all the toxins are used in or absorbed into those babies. And Ken Cook from the Environmental Health Group has made a stunning documentary where they show that all 10 American babies that were born, and that they tested the blood and they tested their umbilicum cord, they had 287 toxins in the blood. 134 of these toxins cause cancer already at birth. Now think about a fetus, it's just one cell starting to develop into many. Now if there is toxins in there and those toxins are carcinogenic, causing cancer, and the cells divide and divide and multiply, then those will already in the primary state of development cause so much damage that it's no wonder that we have children today with brain tumors, with massive sarcomas already at the age of 1 and 2. It's not because those babies are something wrong with them or something happened. It's because generation after generation we cause more and more damage with our stupid plastic lifestyle, with our toxic lifestyle, with our malnutrition, and with our bombardment of our bodies with infections and bacteria and everything which we can't handle anymore. So it's a wake-up call. Cancer is a wake-up call to something that we cause to this planet and to this world. And like Petrea King said it really nice, cancer patients are the canaries of the coal mine. So they are the first ones susceptible to the disease. But they should be the warning for the rest of the world. They took the canaries into the coal mine. When they fell over, they knew, well, we have to get out. There is toxic gas. Now, that was their signal. And that's what cancer today is. It's a signal telling us, bloody hell, you're killing everybody. Now, think about, we have every third person, I think it's every second male and every third woman being diagnosed with cancer. Yay, that's a serious dead canary in that cage, and we need to instantly react. So that's actually the reason why I'm so passionate about. And 186 cause infertility. Now, is that planned? Is that to reduce overpopulation in our planet? If you don't want your family lineage to die out, get rid of toxins. It's really significant. We have another serious issue about toxicity, and that's GMO. If you look at GMO and you haven't considered that as a problem, then start instantly to watch Seeds of Death by Gary Null. A really, really educational movie. And if you look at the research and the rats fed on GMO corn versus the rats without, and the huge tumors that they had in 3rd generation already, you will never ever touch anything which is GMO crop. It's Frankencorn, as they call it. Like they put the pesticide already into the corn, which is guaranteed to cause devastation to our bodies. So just stay away from that stuff and you'll be fine. So if you have chips, corn chips, corn tortillas, which is anyway not really good, but then get at least certified organic, USDA approved or something, so that you know that you don't pollute or poison your body even worse than just the chips. All right. Well, like every time I go through this section, it feels like the doomsday, man. It feels really, really challenging because there is so many pollutants that we need to be careful about. And sometimes we don't even have choice anymore. Like if you look at female bras, there is nothing but synthetics. That's just it. Knitted and, self-stitched or some coconuts doesn't exist anymore. So most cotton bras don't hold, so it's plastics. And plastic breathes out all those petrochemicals into the skin. Now, if you go here and you put a patch on, it absorbs straight into the skin. Now, you have petrochemical, which is petroleum oil, which is all the synthetics made out of, and all the flame retardants and everything going straight into the skin. It's absorbed and it's causing, like the plastic that you drink, those fine particles. In the same way it causes infertility. You know, all the underwire brass causing the stop of the lymphatic system, which means the lymph system can't transport all the toxins away, and through that you have that stagnation of the lymphatic system, which then causes fibrotic cyst disease and all sorts of things. So be careful with that. Let them swing when you're at home, when you're in a relaxed environment. You know, when you go out at night and you want to be chic, that's okay. But if you don't have to, stay away and clean, organic, cotton, you know, hemp, what is the other one? Bamboo. There are so many beautiful fabrics today that you can use, which will really make your life happy and are very comfortable, and you will feel different. They feel amazing. And stay away from synthetic, at least underwear, because that's where it's really, really most dangerous. Now, the next question that we have is our water, tap water, swim water, filter water. You know, like there is always that big discussion, what kind of water? A lot of people think, you know, drinking out of a plastic bottle is probably the worst. Drinking out of a tap water, depending on where you live, can be worse, because all the medication, all the hormones, all the endocrine disruptors, dioxins, radioactive materials out of the rain that washes in, petrochemicals, heavy metals. Get a water filter. This is really significant. But you know where it's most important? Under the shower. The problem is that the biggest absorption rate is via your lungs. It's very fine, it goes directly into the bloodstream, and breathing in those plastic toxins from your curtain, from the hot water, all those different chemicals that are steamed up. You know, steam is absorbed 10 times faster into the skin through the lungs, is when you have a hot shower. So water filters, it's a little shower that you screw on into your shower, and then you have those cartridges, exchange them regularly every 2 or 3 months, and then you have clean water to shower, clean water to drink, and that should do the trick. If you have a bathtub and you want to have a bath, put some EDTA, zeolite powder into the bath, some clay into it, magnetic clay that binds toxins, and you're safe too. Just use those means to protect yourself and to not pollute your body even further. I said it's a slow motion process how you kill yourself. It's not fast. One bathtub won't kill you, one shower won't kill you, but doing it every day, it adds up dramatically. Put 1 penny away every day, and all of a sudden you realize how much that accumulates to at the end of the year. Okay, daily toxic load in regards to cosmetics doesn't need to be discussed. If you haven't seen or read the book, you know, Toxic Beauty by Samuel Epstein, do it. It's, you know, you can't describe how toxic, how dangerous it is. All lead content, all the cheap cosmetics that you buy in the supermarkets, in those molds in the middle, they all come from Asia, from China. They're highly toxic. You put them on, they're instantly absorbed. Lipsticks, directly you consume, you eat your lipstick, it's absorbed through the mucous membrane in your mouth, which is the fastest absorption rate, and then you pollute your body. Everything that is absorbed into your body is absorbed into the bloodstream. And from there it goes directly into the liver. And then the liver has to detoxify huge amounts of toxins every day. If your liver is impaired, if your liver is challenged and stressed, it will just recycle those toxins and store them somewhere in their body. Well, and that is then the cause where cancer develops. So cosmetics. I spoke about the baby powder already, Johnson's baby powder. I just put it in again because there is right now a big lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson for their for causing cancer, and I think it's 500 cases that are now claiming over $60 million in damage, and they are to win because it was already evidenced 1973 that the fiber of powder is equally to the asbestos fiber and causing ovarian cancer in females. What do most of the people do? use plenty of powder with their babies, most vulnerable beings, and we just think, we do something really great. And that brings us to a toxic chart. Now, if you do a detoxification panel or a toxic panel, and you look at all the different heavy metals that are in your body, for example, aluminum, in this case, silver, mercury. Mercury, silver fillings are amalgam fillings. So if you have that very high, but also cadmium, all of those lead content, that's from our environmental load. And we do hundreds of these tests, and all of them show massive amounts of toxicity within every patient. So there is something else, and we'll talk about that when we come to DNA. There is a lot of impairments that people cannot detoxify proper, or their liver is too congested to be able to detoxify. And if that's the case, all those little bits store up and get more and more and more until you come to a detrimental chart like this, which then is mega leading as one of the main contributing causes to cancer.